sawubona mbukeli, sesifikile thina nohlelo oluthanda kakhulu ilungelo lakho. It's your right. Uyazi mbukeli simlethela lona bukhoma la kumamba phambili SABC 1 eMzansi for sure. Uyazi ke mina ukuthi ngubani ngu-Alisha intombi yakajali usijongo kaNgcolosi. Ngithi hello babukeli bami, ngabe niyaphila kodwa. We are live today. Ungashayela ucingo directly in studio. The magic numbers 011-714-6918. Alternatively 714-6919. consumer@sabc.co.za is our email address. Siyatholakala futhi on Facebook. Bukeli incwadi yokushayela imoto, iloli noma isithuthuthu sengumqoka kakhulu ezimpilweni zabaningi, especially abasebenza ngalo mkhakha. Uma ungahlaziyiwe ke kuba nzima ukuthi usebenze njengoba abaningi bese ngishilo ukuthi baphila ngawo lo msebenzi. Kodwa ke izinkinga abaningi abahlangana nazo phela kulolu hlelo lokuhlaziya ama driver's license zikhipha isinkwe emlonyeni wabashayeli abaningi abanama driver's license asephelelwe isikhathi. Ake singene shiqe odabeni lethu la namhlanje silibukisisa ukuthi wena ungenza njani. Bukeli, the clock is ticking for thousands of motorists who failed to renew their driver's licenses in the grace period that ends in next month on the 31st of August. But for those who are still struggling just to get a booking to renew a license online, things don't necessarily look very promising for wena. But what can one then do to avoid the risks of driving a license expiry? And remember, ayikho excuse ka COVID-19 or a lockdown that will get you off the hook masuhlangana namaphoyisa. Manje ke ukusiza ukuthi sidingide ngezinkinga zama license bookings nama renewals. Asamukele izivakashi zethu namhlanje. We're very pleased to have ubaba Simon Zwane okhulumela ke yena i-Road Traffic Management Corporation and Traffic Offences phecelezi the RTMC. Sinayo futhi intokwazi niyamazi, you know her, unguchwepheshe ke nakwezokuthutha. I'm talking about the beautiful lovely Miss Alta Swanepoel. Lady and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Babu Zwane, ake siqale ngawe baba. In relation to uhlelo la namhlanje, how has ama problems in relation to ama renewals, ama license abantu affected the department, particularly including ama COVID-19 ama lockdown restrictions baba?
Yeah, sisebenza esikhathini esingekho lula kahle kwamanje ngoba kunale COVID-19 nama restrictions amaningi. So ngalokho nathi fanele siwahloniphe ukuze abantu bangatheleleki lesifo mabafika endaweni ekhungweni zethu zokusebenza. So isikhathi kwesinye isikhathi kufanele kwamanye ama center avalwe ngoba kusacleanwa and lokho ku-affecta i-availability ye service. Kodwa ke siyazama ngakho konke ukuthi abantu bathole i-service abayidingayo. Abantu ama-license wabo asondele ekupheleni besibathumelela nama-SMS ukuthi ababhukhe. I-booking online yenzake yase-Gauteng kuphela. Kodwa sesiqalile ukuyi-extendela kancane nase-Eastern Cape.
Okay baba.
Inkinga esihlangane sibone kakhulu sihlangabezana nayo ukuthi abantu abaningi nabantu abawu-10 ababhukha for ukuthi bayo-renewa ama-license wabo, abawu-6 bagcina bangafikanga.
Okay.
Lokho kusibangela inkinga ngoba kusho ukuthi isikhala esingabe sinikezwe umuntu ozimisela ukuvuselela i-license yakhe.
Okay, Babu Zwane, ithi-ke sizwe la ku-Miss Swanepoel. Alta, I mean, maybe just a brief introduction for the benefit of our viewers. I know we've had you on the show before. Thank you so much for rejoining us. I mean, and maybe take us through how lockdown and COVID-19 has also exacerbated the cases in relation to issues like your motor driving license renewals and motor vehicle license renewals.
Well, obviously, due to the fact that for a few months that the officials could not issue these licenses, it immediately created the backlog. And when the process started again, initially, the grace period was only for a few months. but it was a little bit positive to expect that they would be able to catch up on all the people that had to renew their licenses, professional driving permits, and that had to get learners licenses in such a short period of time. And due to that, eventually, in December last year, the Minister in the Disaster Management legislation extended the period, but only for people who did not manage to get their licenses renewed during 2020, to extend it to 31 August this year. Unfortunately, the moment January started this year, they had to compete with all the people who in any event have to go and get their license cards renewed. So therefore, in most cases, you find that COVID created a situation where many of the authorities were not open all the time and they could not take the normal number of bookings. So this just created a knock-on effect at this stage, which I do not think is going to be catched up by the time the grace period ends.
Very interesting, Alta, because now, Babuzwane, in terms of research now, it says that more than 250,000 South African motorists as of November 2020 could be operating their vehicles with expired licenses due to, as Alta had just put it there, due to the backlog in license renewals, particularly with system, Babuzwane, the online system. When it comes to the online booking system?
Yeah, njengoba sinkhazile ukuthi abaningi bayabhuka online bangafiki, sabanikiwe islot bangafiki. Abanye sibathumelela ama-SMS ukuthi mabeze, kwesikhathi size savula sivula nokuthi sisebenze nangama-weekend ukuthi abantu bakwazi ukuthola lama-service, kodwa abanye abafiki. So lokho kwenza kube inkinga enkulu ngoba phela asikwazi ukudila nale backlog.
But then, if I can just jump in there, sorry, Baba, but I hear what you're saying, Uguti, on the consumer side. Mostly the problem is these people don't show up. But let's talk about the technical glitches as the system online. First of all, you've had complaints like Amadate, Akishwa system are well after the expiration date of the current license, umuntu ay apply, or else uzotola venue yokuthi ahamba zo renew license in a different district, which means it's not in the area that they reside in, causing problems for ama motorists amanye who cannot get from one place to another place, or you don't even get a booking at all.
No, asiphendule le. Okokuqala sikhuluma lana ngama licenses expire between March no December last year.
Yes.
Minister wanikezana extension with law license valid until end of August. These are driving licenses, learner licenses, PDPs. They are expiring at the end of August 2021. So kusukela ngaleso sikhathi sibathumelela abantu ukuthi abeze, sibathumelela nama-SMS ukuthi abeze. Enye inkinga enkulu ukuthi abantu bafuna ukuya kulama center amakhulu aseduze phakathi kwama-CBDs. For instance, eTshwane abantu baningi bathanda ukuya eCenturion, then eGoli bafuna ukuya eSandton noma eLanglaagte. Lawo ma-center lawo a-attracta abantu abaningi kakhulu. Besiqala sivula ama-slots for lawo ma-center aphela within 20 or 30 minutes. I-demand kulawo ma-center makhulu kakhulu. Abantu bakuthi cela ukuthi bazwisise ukuthi ungayithatha enye i-booking mhlawumbe ezokuyisa eThemba noma i-booking ekuyisa eXavier, noma ngabe bofuna uprefere wena ukuya eSandton. iXavier is still within iJohannesburg. So yilezo zinto ezibe khona ukuthi abantu bafuna lawa abawafunayo, makangatholi eduzane kwakhe kakhulu uyabesakathi awatholakala, kanti akhona nakwezinye indawo. Le ndawo mhlawumbe ayifunayo ine-demand enkulu kakhulu abantu abafuna ukuyovuselela kuleyo center leyo.
But legally, Sorry, Alta, I mean, what are the implications of this? Like I've just mentioned now that with the online booking system, a lot of people are complaining that they don't get dates in time. They literally get a date after the expiration date has been reached on their current driver's license, or they'll get it in another district. So Mr. Zwane is saying that those centers that normally allocate the certain number of people that can go and renew usually have high demands. But you can't tell somebody who stays in Joburg to then go and renew in Pretoria.
Technically, the road traffic legislation allows you to renew your license card anywhere in the country. So over the last few months, I've actually advised people to, if they find it difficult on the online system, remember it's only Gauteng and the Eastern Cape that need to go through the online booking system. In all the other provinces, they do not have that system. So they people just simply go in queue and get their licenses renewed. And although our vehicle licenses are restricted to the authority where we live, that is not the case currently with our driving licenses. People are allowed to go anywhere to get their driving license renewed. So if they know of a place which has got short queues and where they can be helped faster, they must just realize if they go and apply somewhere else for their license, they must just go back when they go and fetch it. That has to also be at the same center. But our legislation does not force you to go to a specific authority, and it also, unfortunately, at this stage, does not force the authorities to have sufficient capacity in a specific area to assist you.
All right. All right, let's leave it there for now, Alta. You know, I was just trying to decipher the inconvenience of then having to ukuthi usuke wena uhlale eJohannesburg ujwayele ukuya eLanglaagte useduze kwaseLanglaagte uzokhishelwa idate mhlambe eSerudaport izinto engifuna ukuzihlaziya lezo mbukeli 0117146918 0117146919 consumer@sabc.co.za. Siyabuya nokuthi wena i-license yakho i-renew kuphi kanjani noma futhi kanjani nobani. We're coming back shortly after this. Welcome back. Usabheke Yilungelo Lakho live on SABC 1 Mzansi for show. Ungashayela ucingo studio 0117146918, alternatively 7146919. Email consumer@sabc.co.za or usithole lapha ku Facebook. Manje ke sizozwa phela ukuthi uma i-license yakho phecelezi i-driver's license yakho ikuthinta kanjani izinto zemishwalense. So how does i-license yakho expire affect your insurance? Sinaye ubaba uZakes Sondiyazi yena ke umele iSouth African Insurance Association. Baba uZakes, ngicela ukwamukela nje ohlelweni Nsizwa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Siyabonga mamthatha.
Ngiyabonga baba, ngizoza kuwena baba because I just want to quickly iron out some issues zokuthi kubhukhwa kanjani. Baba uZwane, ngicela ukuzwa kuwena baba la ilokhuzana, are there currently any walk-ins by any chance? Are they allowed ukuthi umuntu mhlambe, let's say abantu abaningi they don't have access to internet or abanawo ama smartphones to make those bookings, or they can't go to Inansika. These are issues that I wanted to highlight with the system. Abakwazi ukuya internet cafe bayokwenza i-booking khona baba. Can they still then be allowed ukuthi benza ama walk-ins at their nearest traffic licensing department?
Ama walk-ins avunyelwe, kodwa avunyelwe for abantu abadala abanabo la abasepensionini abana 60 kaphezulu. They can walk in kwi-center noma yiphi abajikiselwe emuva bazoncedwa. Abanye abanenkinga mhlambe ye-access to computer, smartphone, bayakwazi ukuthi babasize nabo lapho babasize ukubabhukhisa kunema-kiosk computers akhona phakathi emasenteni la bangakhona ukuncedwa khona. Kodwa ngaphandle kwaloko ayikho indawo yokuwalk in, not eGauteng. But you can walk in kwamanye ama-province at any time, inkinga ayikho lapho bangasebenzisi khona online booking system.
Okay.
You can walk in the Free State, Northwest, Limpopo, and other provinces. You can walk in, and some parts of the Eastern Cape.
All right. right. Now, Alta, I mean, maybe let's talk about, some of the glaring issues that are inherent with the system. A lot of people find that it's not necessarily inclusive to them. I just highlighted to Mr. Zwane issues of people not having smartphones, drivers not having access to the internet, and so forth. So doesn't this put then the consumer at a disadvantage of some sort?
Definitely, as many people do not understand how the process works, and as you've said earlier, sometimes even if they understand how the process works, unfortunately, many of them do not get any appointments. The road traffic legislation currently still does not really address the system in this manner. The road traffic legislation says you have to apply in person for your license because when you apply, you are supposed to go through a process of presenting yourself to an authority and completing the documents, and they must then check and see whether your eyesight is correct, etc., before your license can be issued. So the process in Gauteng and in the Eastern Cape is actually a pre-legislation process, as that is just to organize to ensure that there are not too many people coming in at the traffic department to be able to renew their licenses. But the road traffic legislation as such caters for a walk-in scenario where you go in and you have to go and renew your license there.
Okay. And then Babu Zwane, laba engikhuluma ngabe ngithi mhlawumbe abanayo internet or abakhona ukuya kuma internet cafe for whatever reasons or abana data kuma smartphones wabo but ufuna ukurenew. Wenza njani lo muntu? What is their other option?
Ngithe mabafika kwi-center bayakwazi ukuthi babasize bababhukhise online labo bantu. So kusukela ekuqaleni masilauncha lento sasicabangile leyo nto, so kwaba khona ama-dedicated
Online specialists.
Yeah. Kuze ukuthi bakwazi basizwe lapho abantu laba abangakwazi abangena access to computer stuff. Njengoba ngisho abadala abadingeka ukuthi babhukhe online bayancediswa but they can work in labo bantu abadala.
Okay, ngibukela ngiyathemba ukuthi uyezwa ke lapho ukuthi if wena for some reason you don't have access to internet kuthiwa usengayo office la lapha na le licensing traffic department ufika ucela ukuthi bakusize bakubhukhise online. Alright, ake samukele uBabu Zakes ondiyazi kena ovela kwe-Insurance Association yaseMzansi. Babu Zakes, wena uthini masikhuluma ngeindaba zelokhuzana zama drivers license expirile of which akuyona mhlambe iphutha labantu, it's a glitch kwilokhuzana kwi-system and then uthola ukuthi umuntu useshayiselwa imoto or ashayisenye imoto. Ama-claims asebenza kanjani kuleso simo baba?
Siyabonga sibongela Matshali. Ngaqala ngokuthi nje ngisho ngithi kuMangete ukuthi we welcome a new technology ezosiza abantu ngiyacabanga ukuthi inhloso yayo was not to make to make life difficult, and we hope with time kuzoba right. So particularly on our side ku-insurance we are aware ngalama complaints afana nalana. Into esiyenzayo kakhulu ke thina mina normally afika kimi amaningi edeskini lami, so I would advise abantu kakhulu umuntu athi hey manje i-license yami seyizo expire ngenza kanjani. The first thing I normally advise ngitshela umuntu mina ukuthi xhumana ne-insurance yakho ubacacisele ukuthi une-delay awutholi date, then ke ngokwami i-insurance ngoba nabo bane-technology where they can save information. Bayisave le information in the event ukuthi mhlawumbe uthola ingozi bazi ukuthi bokuwasho wena ukuthi awukhonanga ukulontoza ukurenewa i-license yakho. And at the same time into emele sikhumbule ukuthi my expiry license, that doesn't mean that we can't drive. So my insurance company are aware of that. Ngoba uyazi la mawumiswe uyi-traffic cop insurance yakho expiry abakuthatheli imoto bakunika i-fine. So insurance now considers such things which they cannot outrightly reject i-claim yakho because a license yakho expire.
So they
you are still eligible to drive no license yakho expire.
Okay. But Babu Zakes, has there been any collaboration between nani nabo ke laba be-traffic ukuthi bantshela ukuthi particularly now njengoba bekune-grace period between last year November namanje 31st of August ukuthi if ever umuntu uthola i-accident then those claims automatically anibanikeza abantu iy'nkinga mese beclaim?
sikhuluma kakhulu no-RTMC no-RTIA ne-DOT kakhulu. There's so many information esisharayo when coming to amakhasimende wethu. So basithinta if there's a glitch basitshela ukuthi kunje nanje bese nathi ke ama-insurance company amanye anawo ama-system lawo they will send information direct to ama-members wabo ukuthi we are aware ukuthi kune delay into etho and we are aware ukuthi that might affect ukuregister i-license yakho. But babatshele ukuthi we will consider imerit yeclaim yakho as it is. Ngeke sithi because awuka renew i-license yakho bese siya reject iclaim yakho asisebenzi kanjalo.
Babuze umuntu uyiprove kanjani le case? Let's say mhlambe bekuyi-negligence from umuntu mhlambe uhambile wabook i-system iloku imkhipha out wa give up and then mhlambe from that appointment ebezama ukuthi uyabooka they have that accident. Well, how do you even start explaining this ku-insurance yakho mikutshela ukuthi we don't even have proof ukuthi you've tried to get a booking or izinto ezinjalo baba?
Ukhumbule majali ukuthi i-insurance cover in the event umoto mayishayisile mayenzini mawune-claim mawukuthi imoto itshontshiwe. So irrespective whether you've got a valid license, imoto mayishayisile siyayikhavara.
Okay.
Imoto makuthi itshontshiwe siyayikhavara. I-license is by legislation ukuthi i-license yakho must be valid. Njengoba ngisho ukuthi kwenzeka ukuthi mawumiswa i-traffic cop uphethe i-license yakho expire izolo. I-traffic cop ngeke kuthathele imoto. Izokunika itikiti.
Yes.
Uqhubeka udrive ngemoto. So we consider such things ukuthi although i-license yakho expirile for certain reasons awukhonanga ukurenewa, insurance will treat that claim in its own merit. They will not disadvantage you ngoba i-license yakho expirile.
Okay. And then just maybe to close off, Babu Zeksi from esayidini lakho, how would you then advise ama-motorists, particularly laba bangakathola ama-date or but they still fall within this grace period, ukuthi if anything happens to them, iziphi izinto that they need to arm themselves with?
Please, I beg them, khakamshelana ne-insurance yakho all the time, khuluma ne-insurance yakho, say angitholi date or ngitholi date nyamalele. They will record that information in the system yakho. And if bathi kuwe we can't entertain in the license yakho or we told the date, they will let you know. But most of the time, as long as ubatela ama records yakho bawabeka lapho, and in the event you claim, they will consider immediate claim yakho, not the expired license. Yeah.
So Babu Zex, you're saying ba-act before license expire while they're still trying to find means ukuthi bathola ama-dates. Is that what you're saying, Babu?
Thank you, Machari.
Okay, insizwa siyabonga kakhulu ke sesizokudedela. That is uBabu Zex Sondiyazi. He's from the South African Insurers Association. Uyasho ke mbukela ukuthi uma wena uzithola ukulesimo kungcono ukuthi usheshe ufonele umshwarensi wakho and keep them in the loop ukuthi lalelane, I've tried to get a booking, there is currently a glitch in the technical system, therefore so bakufaka lokho kuma records wakho so that in any eventuality make sure wena kumele uclaim uzokwazi ukuthi they've loaded that information on your file. All right, asithathe linye ikhefu. We're back shortly after this. Those lines are still open, wide open. Nama emails, nama Facebook, yonke into. I'll be back shortly after this. Singaindawo. one 7146918 7146919 consumer@sabc.co.za is our email address. We are also available on Facebook. You're watching Yilungelo Lakho live on SABC on Mzansi for sure. No Majali. My guest today, Ubaba Simon Zwane with RTMC. Yenaga, who is a spokesperson, alongside Miss Alta Swanepo, who is a road traffic law expert. Okay, Babu Zwane, maybe let's come back to you. Bafuna ukwazi abantu ukuthi in terms of glitches that are currently happening with the system, Baba, are you anywhere close to providing a solution ezokwenza sure ukuthi it takes care of wonke ama-complaints abantu, and how far are you with this resolution?
Yeah, sinalo uhlelo loku improve how the system works. sesiyazi ukuthi inkinga ukuthi bangwa yini inkosi siye sa extend to Eastern Cape ukuthi sibheke ukuthi ingabe inkinga zikuphi. So from the experience we have from a PE we are certain ukuthi inkinga yethu ibangwa ukuthi kune demand enkulu eGauteng. So ukuze yakane naleyo nto leyo yaleyo demand enkulu ngoba eWestern Cape ayikho inkinga, ama-slots ahlala khona evulekile njalo nje ngoba inamba yemoto zabo zimbalwa nabadrayiva babo bambalwa. Kodwa-ke ukuze sikwazi ukusebenzana kahle nalento kuplanwa ukuthi kube khona amanye ama-driving license centers azovulwa ukuze abantu bakwazi ukuba nendawo eziningi la bangakwazi ukuthi baye khona kuyovuselela iy'ncwadi zabo zokushayela. So lokho kuzosiza kakhulu ekutheni sikwazi ukuthi sisize abantu abaningi ngendlela okufanele sibasize ngayo.
Okay, Babuzwane, ngiyeza kuwena manje. I just want to quickly take uBhuti Siphiwe all the way in Benoni on the line. Bhuti Siphiwe, siyakwamukela Nsizwa ohlelweni. Singakusiza kanjani namhlanje mayelana nama-license?
Ngiyabonga mala ngine problem Nkosi. Ngizamile ukubhuka online but angisitholi slot because bavula ama-slot awu-10. Into engimangazayo ukuthi abantu bama-drivers ama-driving school bona bahlezi banama-slot basi-charger for ukuthi sibhuke kubo. Angazi kwenziwa yini lokho ukuthi kanti le system isebenzela bona ukuthi benze imali noma.
Okay, Bhuti Siphiwe, ngiyabonga kakhulu. Thank you so much for that question. Babuzwane, this is a direct question for you. There's also a Pumuzo Mulaudzi here who says online slots, Baba, on the back of a question ka Bhuti Siphiwe. Uti online slots are not available because they are selling them. Here's a caller now, Siphiwe, saying that the driving schools will always have a date, but you have to pay to get that date. So it sounds like there's a money-making scheme for particularly the people abama driving schools. Nithi nina baba ngaloko ukuthi ama dates abantu abawatholi?
Cha sikuzwile lokho kaningi abantu bayisho leyo nto. Nabo bama driving school masikhuluma nabo babeke basho ukuthi in the past babeke bawathola ama-slots abathola kuma-examiners kodwa since improve i-system abasawatholi. Kodwa kubonakala ngathi okwenzakalayo ukuthi ama-driving school they queue for you. So kusho ukuthi banabantu manje sebabaqashile abahlalele ukuthi babenzele ama-bookings full time umsebenzi wabo yilokho ukuthi ama-slots mawaba available bakubhukhele and then babe sabayakucharge ngoba banabantu abahleli babheke i-system imini yonke ukuthi avulwaphi ama-slots ngasiphi isikhathi babe sabayabhukha. Yileyo nto abayenzayo esibona ukuthi yiyo abayenzayo benza ngayo imali manje.
Manje nikugwema kanjani naloko Babuzwane?
Sizogwema sifuna ukuthi ama-driving school kube ne-functionality yabo lapho bazokwazi ukuthi babhukhele mhlambe abantu babo abasebenza nabo mhlambe abayenza ama-license kubo abafunda kubo bababhukhela so that bangacompete nomphakathi ngoba kwamanje sithola ukuthi bakhompyutha nomphakathi wonke lokho yiko lokhu kubanga ukuthi kube nama-complaint amaningi. So masingabanikeza a dedicated service abazokwazi ukuthi bayisebenzise and then ispace esiningi sivuleke for umphakathi wonke.
Okay, but Babuzwane, you're not touching on this very serious and offensive issue here. Ukuthi they are selling these dates. And apparently, njengoba uBhuti Siphiwe ekadefone eBenoni, uthi u-accuse nokuthi amanye ama-officials ngenzeka ukuthi nabo ama-dates awatholi because you have to go uyokhokhela umuntu if uzofuna i-date yokuthi uzirenewele wena. That can't be legal, surely, Baba.
Yebo, angikwali kunophenyo olukhulu olwenzakalayo ngani. Kubheka ukuthi ngabe khona in corruption khona ama-complaints nathi siwatholile siwalandelayo la kuthiwa khona kune-corruption kodwa preliminary lesikubonile ukuthi bayenza i-queue for you and queue for you akusibo kuphela bama-driving school abayenzayo khona namanye ama-companies are private that they queue for abantu to book either your vehicle license disc, they renewal or to make the bookings for you, and they make business in that way. Okay. So as we improve our online offerings, nalawo mas services labo labantu abawenzayo azoya ngokuya aphela ngoba umuntu uzokwazi in the near future ukuthi ubhukhe kithi ubhukhe for a driving license and then for renew kwe-license yakho ukwazi ukusitshela ukuthi sithumele kuphi sizayi-courier directly kuwe and then you will make that transaction online nathi. So yile ndlela esifuna ukuyisebenza ngayo ukuze ukuthi sigwemane nazo lezi nkinga eziningi esibhekene naso. Kunama-discussions manje ase-advanced kakhulu ukuthi sifake lawo ma-improvements kule online service yethu ukuze abantu bangabi nale nkinga abalokhu bakhala ngazo.
Okay, Babuzwane, because there was also a suggestion, ngiyeza kuwena Nomfundo on the line, there was also a suggestion, Babu, ukuthi why then doesn't RMTC ukuthi expand the scope njengoba ukwazi ukuthi uyo renew license this, for example, a post office, ukuthi why ningakhona ukuthi nenze kanjalo, because leyo nto izo resolve a lot of lama issues that you currently having. But again ngikumise lapha Baba, if you can comment after that, after this caller. Sis Nomfundo at Deep Kloof Ntokazi, thank you so much for staying on the line. Singakusiza njani today?
Bengisacela ubuza mina sisi manje ukuthi nda register eCliptown lenas manje kwenzeka lento yokulutha bafike license department bafike bophula manje what about amanansi kawethu ngama booking wethu.
Okay, ma, siyabonga kakhulu Mam Nomfundo. Babuzwane, a very quick one before we go to the ad break. Nomfundo registered in Kliptown. It was recently looted during the 2 weeks of unrest that we've recently had in the country. What happens to their bookings now? She wants to know.
No, lawo ma-bookings azo-reschedulishwa uzothola notification ukuthi kuzofuneka ukuthi aye nini lapho kuleyo testing center bekade abhukhe ku. They'll all be rescheduled. Labo bantu bazothola ithuba labo lokuya kuma-centers.
All right, Mam Nomfundo, I hope ukuthi uzule lapho kuthi ungathuki Ntokazi, you didn't break the law wena, bazonisendela imqhafazo ama-SMS ukuthi bantshele ukuthi what are your renewed dates, ama-dates enu amasha nokuthi nizoya ko-renewa kuphi. Let's take another quick ad break. Mbukeli siyabuya, i-numbers are still open. 011-714-6918, 64-6919. Siyabuya emva kwekhefu ngayindawo. Bokele usabheke ilungelo lakho. Sikhuluma ngokuthi uma wena u-experience inkinga mawufuna ukubhukha phela ukuthi uyo-renewa incwadi yakho yokushayela phecelezi your driver's license njengoba sekuthiwa kune-online system particularly eKZN nalana eGauteng. Kuthiwa kuney'nkinga ey'ningi abantu abathola ama-dates or methola ama-dates it's in another district uthola ukuthi umuntu akasakhoni ukuthi aye khona ayokwenza izinto zakhe. My guest today ubaba uSimon Zwane, spokesperson se-Road Traffic Management Corporation, no Miss Alta Swanepoel. Yena-ke she's a road and traffic law expert. Asithathe uSisnelly Siwe all the way from Lenasia on the line. Sisnelly, hello, kunjani?
Ngikhona njani sisi?
Ngiyaphila sithando sami, singakusiza kanjani?
I'm so happy ukuthi you brought this topic, ne?
Thank you, ma.
Because I'm also a driver and at work I'm a field worker.
Okay.
I'm expected to drive. So it's so difficult to get, and I can't get a car at work if I don't have, my license is not renewed.
Yes.
So each time you try and get a slot in Gauteng, because they only open on Thursdays for Johannesburg.
Yes.
You can wake up at 12 a.m., you won't get a slot. I'm trying to add to those people so that they can do something about it, because this thing is bothering me, right? You go to those boys who are selling the photos. Eventually, you pay 150. I also have colleagues who had to pay for these boys, then book for you, which is really much unfair. Ne? And Balula also alluded to that, to say there is corruption. Ne? There is nothing that this department is doing about that. Number two, there is no help. I want to differ with Mr. Zwane. There's no help in terms of being assisted to book online. I went to Kliptown for the first time. I didn't know how to book online. They just said to me, go next door, there's a cafe. It means if you don't have money to pay for that cafe, what is the department doing? You have to go next door, they book for you. So I'm really not happy with this system. I don't know how they are going to improve it. Thank you so much.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu sisinelisiwe. Alta, maybe just have a quick one there because I want Mr. Zwane to really go into town with these complaints because even the lady says she's trying to stress this thing. We've been trying to stress the importance of the fact that people are just not getting dates or dates are being sold. And she's really unhappy with the department because she says these things are just not being taken in, seriously.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can only agree on these things. I've had schools phoning me saying that they have teachers that need to renew their professional driving permits, etc. And eventually they were paying 600 Rand per teacher in neighboring provinces to go and get their licenses renewed there because they could not get any appointments in Gauteng. So I unfortunately agree it's a very big problem at the moment, and it seems to be the way to go. You cannot get a slot because they're all being reserved for people who've already paid more than they shouldn't be paying at all. This is a public service.
Absolutely.
Renewing your driving license should only cost you the actual cost of the license. There shouldn't be any booking fees involved in this process.
Maybe let's come back to you. Bayakhala ngempela abantu nami ngisakhala because you still haven't gotten around to ukuthi ungichazele ukuthi if ke nithola ukuthi ama officials are guilty of ukuthi adayisa ama dates, when are you going to nip the problem in the bud? Why aren't you getting rid of Lauma officials that are now literally benzanina, they're putting the whole department into disrepute because of our practices that are going on there. Ukwatile usisinomfundo laphana uthi uyayidinga imoto emsebenzini. She's a field worker, and for her to get imoto emsebenzini, she has to have a license. She's been sent from pillar to post in Dabazama online bookings. Even when she was at the station, she couldn't get much reprieve.
No, ufanele ukuthi athukuthele usisi mangabe uthola treatment njengaleyo akusinto enhle futhi akusinto esiyigqugquzelayo so department angikholwa ukuthi khona noyedwa nje uMC ungavumelana naleyo nto leyo.
Absolutely not.
Le ndaba ye corruption akusinto esibalekelayo sinto esiphenyayo leyo. Bakhona amanye kwezindawo ama-examiners esisike sababopha njengalapha neThemba ngamavikini amathathu adlule khona abantu ababoshiwe lapho ngayo le ndlela into yomkhonyovu oyenziwayo. So singajabula uma singathola information abantu basicontact na directly basitshele ukuthi ubani kuphi owenza ini sikwazi ukuyiphenya leyo nto leyo silandelele sidile nalabo bantu labo. Bangasithola ku 0861 400 800 basithumelele lapho or bangasi-emailela ku ntacu@rtmc.co.za and then yonke information esitholayo sayilandelela siphenye size sifike ekugcineni.
All right, that number, Mbukeli 0861 400 800, 0861 400 800. Sizoyifaka futhi before ishow iphele la kwi-screen, and of course sizoyifaka futhi on our Facebook page. Let's take Ubutpitso from Edenville. Ubutpitso on the line. Thank you so much for joining us. How can we help you today?
Yes, my sister, how are you?
Ngiyaphila baba, unjani?
Ngiyaphila.
Ngiyaphila nsizwa.
Mina nginenkinga le system mayisaqala. Uma ngizorenewa i-PDP yami.
Yes.
Azange ngasokola ngabona ukuthi le system inhle kakhulu. Kodwa okwamanje kule round ayikhona ayisizi ngalutho. Ayingisizanga kule second round e-PDP yami expire ngoJune nge-12. Ngi-apply 2 months before. Ngathola islot e-free enageni. Kulesa slot ngaspick up uma pick up islot efrnageni azange sangithumelela ilokhujana icode yokuthi i-reference number ngithi uma uphika islot kumele uthole i-reference number.
Yebo baba.
So kule game ayizange yasebenza ayinginikanga i-reference number engathi angazi ukuthi injani kule game.
Okay, babu.
Until namanje angisena PDP angazi ukuthi ngizoyenza njani.
Siyabonga kakhulu Babu Gito. I mean, Alta, I mean, the impact that this is having, particularly on those drivers. I mean, here's Gito, who's he's a public transport driver. He wanted to renew his PDP. He applied in due process 2 months before, because South African law says you have to apply, it has to be renewed 4 weeks before it actually expires. But he went and applied 2 months before, and he still hasn't received any reprieve. I mean, it's impacting on the well-being of those people that they literally going to lose jobs at the end of the day.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the situation. Anybody who applies for their driving license or their professional driving permit before the expiry of the existing card, the PRDP holders would have 4 months from the date of expiry together with their receipt. And a person with a driving license would have 3 months, which their old license together with the receipt would remain legal. Unfortunately, after that time, if they haven't received a new card yet, they would have to get a temporary driving license in the case of a normal person that goes applies, but not. There is a cost involved in a TDL, yes, a temporary driving license. Unfortunately, for a professional driver, once that 4 months has expired, he's not capable of driving a truck or a bus until such time as he receives new professional driving card, because after the 4 months, there's no reprieve in the legislation for them.
Babu Zwane, maybe you can just touch on these umasbuya ekhefini. Mbukeli, we are coming back. Sizama ukunitholela upojo la, because it seems like the system is watertight ukuthi ayikwazi ukuthi insize or insebenzele, but we're trying to find upojo of which wena you can benefit. 011-714-6918, 714-6919. Yilungelo Lakho live on SABC 1. Don't go anywhere. Mbukele, unfortunately, usizimesho ngitshela ukuthi ngiphelelwe isikhathi. Babu Zwane and Alta, unfortunately, we are out of time, but very quickly, Alta, where can people get hold of you should they need your assistance in terms of whatever issues that they need assistance with in terms of the current regulations and traffic laws?
They're welcome to send me an email. My email address is just alta@altaswanepoel.co.za.
All right. Babu Zwane, are you, can you promise some viewers ukuthi you're on top of all these issues about mentionile namhlanje, and as you mentioned ukuthi banganibhalela if benezinye inkinga? Can we look forward to a resolution, a very speedy one at that anytime soon, Bab?
Siphezu kwayo le ndaba abantu bazothokozwa uma sesiqedile ukwenza lama improvement esiwenzayo kule online service yethu, ngoba izoletha i-convenience enkulu empilweni zabo nakwi-booking system yethu esinayo, and izoyenza ukuthi bakwazi ukwenza transaction yabo at one go, bakwazi ukuthi bangabi nama-visit amaningi to a-DLTC. So i-exposure yabo to even i-COVID and stuff will be lessened once siqede ukwenza kahle sa-improve le system yethu, which akusekho kude kakhulu, sokuseduze nje, sesibala amaviki.
Sesimele amaviki. Ungasitshela i-date baba ukuthi nini bese usinikeza i-email address where they can address your complaints as well? Ngiyazi inamba ngisenayo.
Cha, ngeke ukunikeze i-date etheni, kodwa ngiyakuthembisa nje ukuthi siyayisebenza, and uma sesisebenzile khona namanye ama-province azothanda ukuyisebenzisa le system, kodwa siya-improve ngoba silalele wonke ama-complaint abantu abawenzile.
Babu Zwane does not want to account today. Babu Zwane, let's leave it there. Alta, thank you so much. He's not telling me, direct dates. He doesn't tell me what he's going to do to those criminals that are selling ama-dates. But ke Mbukeli, uyasho ukuthi umkhandlo ihhovisi labo bayazama ngempela ungababhalela okanye ubathinte kule number. If you have any complaints la kade nisifonela ngayo namhlanje 0861 400 800. That number again, 0861 400 800. Upumuzo Mlauzo, online slots are not available because they are selling them. Umapiti Rebecca Manayaka uti, I had to go to Limpopo to renew mine. Ugifti Magivovo uti, this online booking is a problem because they tell you where to go and they don't care. Ugutu hlalaphi siqalile ngaleyo leyo nsizwa yami. Uti, and after all, where do we report them? Siba reporter kuphi nazi number baba 0861 400 800. Uzugo uti, so what about the learners book? bookings because we are suffering ematatiele. Is it necessary to do an eye test where you are about to apply a driver's license? Zonke lezo zinto bantu bakithi, you can direct those issues nama queries to that number 0861 400 800 nalapha ningashiyela imbuzo futhi on our Facebook page sizondlulisela wona ke siwayise kwi traffic department. Unfortunately, I had such little time today. Ngathi khona nje utokolo sho la e-studio ubhizi untshontsha studio sami untshontsha isikhathi sami la e-studio mbukeli. I have to love and leave you. Do send us your topics that you would like us to engage in with umajali intokazi kangcoloso uthi nje nisale kahle emakhaya nibe safe. Book your bookings long in advance. Eyami expire ngo December. I'm already looking for a date. So ungayitholi uhleli ngaphandle. Bye bye people. Bye.
Lakho mnganwa